My name is Beth Beisel, and I'm a registered dietitian here in Connecticut in private practice.
So tell us about, how you set all this up, why you set it up for people to see this documentary, this important documentary about genetically modified organisms.
Well, I started seeing a lot of changes in my practice, in the clients that I was seeing. It started out that I was counseling a lot of people for diabetes and heart disease, and not that that's gone anywhere because there's still plenty of that, but I started seeing people with celiac disease and food allergies and autoimmune diseases and infertility. And I realized that something had changed in our food supply. And when I started researching it, I learned about what was secretly infiltrated into our food supply 18 years ago, and that was genetically modified organisms.
So for people out there who may not know what it actually is, GMO, what's the basic definition you could give for people, or based on what it is?
A genetically modified organism is a seed that has one species of the DNA from one species has been put into or spliced into the DNA of another species, and so it's done to create a certain effect. It can usually it's either herbicide resistant or herbicide tolerant or pest resistant.
So tell us about your organization, GMO Free Connecticut, and how it got all started, and what was a big motivational factor behind that, and spreading awareness throughout Connecticut for different people about GMOs. It's a grassroots organization of farmers and health professionals and mothers and fathers who just really care about making sure these things get put on the labels so that people can have the right to know. Right now, we have no idea what is in our food, what things are genetically modified, what things aren't genetically modified, and we need to have it on the label so that people can decide for themselves if they want to eat GMOs. If they do, that's fine. It's on the label. They can go out and they can buy GMO foods and say, I'm supporting this biotechnology. Or they can say, you know what, there haven't been enough long-term independent studies, and I'm not going to take a risk with my babies. Right now, they can't do that. Yeah. So tell us, for people in Connecticut, how to get involved or do something about it once they know about GMOs, how they could get involved with the organization, or how they can make a difference by contacting representatives or anything else that you suggest.
They can go to gmofreect.org and get in contact with us that way. And the most important thing that everyone should do right now, and this is February of 2013, and we have to the end of the session, is to contact their legislators. If they go to gmofreect.org, there's a link, and it will tell them who in Connecticut is their legislator. It will give them their phone number, their email address, their address, postal address, and they can write to them or call them and say, please support the 2 GMO labeling bills. They also need to call the governor, because right now we don't think he's on board, but the more phone calls he gets, the more he'll realize that this is what the people want, and this is why he's in office, to do what the people want, not to be threatened by corporations and not to do what the corporation's interests are, but what the people want. The other thing that they need to do is when they contact their legislator, they need to tell the legislator to please ask Speaker Sharkey to support the GMO labeling bill.
So based on what you've seen in different crowds, if you've done other screenings like that, are you more optimistic about people knowing about GMOs, more people getting involved? Do you see more of a positive path towards eventually making a change?
This change is going to happen, and we are not going to go away until it does. But over the last year since I've been working on this, it's unbelievable how many more people know what they are avoiding them, and how many more signs there are in the store saying doesn't contain GMOs or non-GMO project verified. Trader Joe's has a big sign in their store that says, if it says Trader Joe's, there are no GMOs. Whole Foods, if you go there, there are signs all over the shelves that say non-GMO project verified, which means that the products have actually been tested and don't contain genetically modified ingredients.
Small amount of research over the last few weeks, I've found, what would you say, peer-reviewed articles in very reputable publications that bring up questions about, first of all, the efficacy of fluoridation through the water.
Where Section 2 of that went? The requirement for...
I don't know what the bill numbers are or anything.
It's about genetically modified food.
It's not anything.
Sir, we live in a representative form of government, sir, not democracy.